I was making sure I had the right thing. I was sitting here. I'm like, okay, Jody, do you have video?
I don't. I'm using my kid's laptop thing, but let's see.
We want to super really try and get you to have video.
If not, I'll switch over to my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, just wait. No, I don't think so. Hold on one sec, and I'll switch over to my phone, okay?
Okay.
Can somebody bring me my charger? What's the ID number?
328-686-5136.
Okay. I'm going to leave this one. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I should have video now. That's so. Maybe. Okay, hold on. Okay. There we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. So, Jackie shared with me your story last week. It is a very powerful story. Was that super hard to do?
Yes, it was so hard. Yeah, it was really hard. I even had a hard time today. My husband and I lost a friend over the weekend, so my brain's just been scattered. I'm like, I have to focus and be able to talk about this, but it's really testing my mental health today. That's for sure.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, like it just shows that this is helping, because any other day I would have completely crashed, and I don't even know where that would have left me.
That's so great. You can see your growth already, hey?
Yeah, it's crazy. And like the high that I get from knowing that I'm helping people, I just want everybody to feel great. I wish that I would have had this when I was a teenager, because I really went through a hard time then.
Well, I think all of us feel like I wish I had it as an athlete and pregnant, and everybody kind of wishes they always knew about it earlier, right?
Yeah.
So I have to plug in my phone and just decided to crash. Okay, so
I know mine did too.
Have you shared your story with anybody yet?
I've shared with a few friends that they just know what I've been through and how I've been, so they can see instantly a change in myself. They know something's up. But with strangers, no.
Okay. So somebody says to you, what are you up to, Jody, or what are you doing? What do you say to them?
I just tell them that I'm on Juice Plus, and I tell them what it is, and that's about it.
So you don't tell them your story and why it has had such a huge impact?
No,
Okay, so guess what? You have to.
I know. It's really hard. I've been a very private person. Like, there's family members that don't even know what's going on with me. So
But
to just,
you have to think
whew,
now, you're not telling the story from a point that you're at your lowest anymore. You're telling it the story that what you've come out of, and you're not like all the way there, and it's not going to be perfect, and you're going to still have your bad days. But it's still, when people see a story of growth or change or improvement, that's what they're inspired by. Like that's what they want to hear, right? And
right.
that's what they connect to. So if somebody says, um, you're looking really good, and what are you doing? Like if you happen to be talking about health, let's say, and something you are thinking it might be for the product. If somebody says, Jody, what are you doing? What are you up to? What are you going to say?
Well, I'm going to tell them, I'll tell them my story.
Yeah, and first of all, you can say, well, I've been taking these like plant powders, which is so crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as you say Juice Plus, they're going to say, oh yeah, but they're probably not going to say, oh, what's Juice Plus, right?
Right.
Chances are, like, I'm still surprised that people have not heard of Juice Plus before when I talk to them now. However, there's a lot of people that might just say, okay, and then go and check it out themselves, or they might have heard it from somebody else, but not truly good, educated, or inspired by somebody's story. So if you say something like plant powders, or I've just kind of started taking some some healthy capsules, or whatever kind of you feel like works, that can be your lead in, because then they're probably going to say, oh, what's that? Or how has it helped you? And then you're going to be able to bridge into a little bit of your story if you're face to face.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. And then the reason why we're kind of going to work on this, because one, you have a super powerful story. Two, you need to scream from the rooftop what these are, which means I'm going to be asking you to share your story at events, and you need to get together.
No.
Yeah. Jackie, and you guys are going to do a mini, like a little 10-minute video, so that when somebody says, through social media, or family members that maybe you're connecting with you but you're not seeing face to face, then you're going to have this 10-minute little recording of your story and Jackie's validation story, that third-party validation, and you're going to have that. So when somebody says, what are you up to, or what are you doing, or what do you mean you've had this improvement, you're going to say, hey, do you have about 10 minutes to check this out? And you're going to send your story with Jackie's story, okay? So
right.
when you're not having to say your story 100 times a week, okay, you have it, you can say it once really great, and then just send it out through a link. And then also it saves you texting and typing it all out every time. So it's going to save you time and make you more efficient in your business, so you can actually impact more people. Sounds like plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So in your story, we're going to kind of go through parts of it over and over a few times. So in your story, we always want to start with, where you were. So you're going to paint a bit of that picture, and that's exactly what you did. So you're going to paint a bit of a picture about where your health was at, where your life was at, and how hard it was, and what you were going through, because like you said, not many people know about it. And then you're going to say, and then whatever, that a friend shared this with me, and I thought, like, I had nothing to lose, right? Like, I had to try something. And then you're going to, and so in your story, you're going to be in about that before state. You're going to be in it about 45 seconds-ish to a minute, okay? So then people can really get where your pain was that you had to get out of. And then once your friends share this with you, start, pick. So many of us can say, like, really, if we think about it, we can say like 5, 6, 7 things that this has done for us, right? But we really want to kind of narrow in on our top 2 or 3 things that, one, can either speak to a lot of people, or if you're talking face to face, and you, like, for instance, if I'm talking face to face to somebody that I know their kid is always sick, I'm probably not going to tell them about my benefits. I'm going to tell them a little bit more about my kids' benefits, because that's going to relate to them more. So you kind of tweak those 2 to 3 things based on who you're talking to, okay? So you might have that long list, but kind of that's one part of the story will be a little bit on the fly. Except for when you're going to be doing this recording with Jackie, you're going to pick, and you and Jackie can maybe figure that out, 2 or 3 things that would speak to, a lot of people that they could relate to. And then for the last like minute of your story, you're going to talk about, the, gradual changes, things that you have, noticed maybe at the beginning and now you're still continuing to notice, and then how your life has changed because of this. Like what, something that gives people that, like in the last like few cents, something that gives people the idea that like you won't go without this. Like this is kind of like a no-brainer, like for life kind of thing that you're doing. It's a lifestyle thing. Okay.
Yeah. I ran out of Omegas. Sorry to interrupt. I ran out of Omegas today, and I phoned my brother. I'm like, do you have a bottle I can borrow till the 20th? There was legit panic. Like, I was terrified I was going to crash. And oh my gosh. So, like, right there, that says everything.
Do you only take,
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you take 2 Omegas a day?
I take 2 a day, and then I wake up and I instantly know how my mood's going to be. And I adjust from there. Like some days I'll wake up and it's going to be a rough day. Like I can feel it. So I'll take anywhere from 2 to 6.
Interesting. Okay. And you notice it like by tweaking it day to day, you notice how your day will kind of go after you've taken whatever 2 or 6 capsules?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Why are you doing the business?
I wasn't even going to do the business. Honestly, Shonda caught me when my brain was so foggy. I didn't even know what I was agreeing to. All I knew that I needed to try Juice Plus, and whatever I was saying was getting me Juice Plus. And then after about a month, I came out of my fog a bit, and I was like, oh, fuck, like, I should maybe try and do something. So I just was putzing around with it. Like I never thought that you could make money, or even thought that I wanted to make money with it. But the feeling that I get from helping people, that's why I want to do it.
So everybody will say, and everybody starts off by saying, well, I just want to help people. Like, I feel so great. I want other people to feel great, right? Well, you can't help people until you help yourself.
Right.
You're helping yourself with your health now. So if you're going to actually inspire people and help change lives, why do you want to change yours? What do you want out of this business for your life?
Well, I never thought of it in the business aspect. I just wanted to take Juice Plus, and yeah, like I'm still haven't even adapted the mindset of it being a business.
So if you could, if this business could do something for you, what would you, not knowing what that might be or what the possibilities are in the business, let's say, because you know you could make money, let's say. So if I said, you can make money, you can have all the time in the world, you can change your future, you can have a savings, you can pay debt, you can buy a house, start dreaming.
Yeah.
What would it be?
I'm starting to realize it can be a huge savings for my family. A security that we never thought that we could get. So it's trips in the future. It's camping without having to worry about that $300 that it takes just to take your family camping. It's like free money per se.
Would you say that month to month your family is financially stable?
Oh God, no. We live month. We don't have a savings account.
But you're comfortable month to month, like when it comes to like your living expenses and.
Yeah, we've always just been good with what we've got. We've been pretty down to earth people, and my husband and I want to travel, so we didn't ever want to buy a house. But once our kids are getting older now, it's kind of nice to think about that security for them if they need a place to go, or who knows what happens with them. Well, maybe we do want a house now, and I don't think we could do it. It would take a long time to do it with what we're doing right now. So that's definitely going to help.
Okay, so by tomorrow, is your husband, does he work at home, like you see him every day?
Yep. Oh yeah, I see him every day.
So by tomorrow, so sometime tonight, maybe when the kids go to bed or whatever, whenever you guys have some downtime, I want you guys to like pen and paper, start writing down like, okay, are we really comfortable month to month? Like we can pay everything off. We just don't have anything extra. And if that's the case, then I want you guys to figure out top 3 things between you. And you can even put a few extra for yourself in there, right? Because you're doing this business. But what does that look like? What would your life look like in 1 year? Write 2 or 3 things down, and 3 and 5 years. Okay. So for each of those things, so if in 5 years you want to buy a house, I'm just going like based on 2 things you just said. So if in 5 years you want to buy a house, then you put house down in 5 years. If you want to have, a $3,000 to $5,000 savings account in the next 12 months, then savings account's going on 12 months. If you want to buy a new car, whatever it might be, like whatever, or if you want to build a savings account, if you want to say, I want to take a big trip in 3 years with my family and, be comfortable with my camping trips and take a big trip in 3, whatever it might be. Pick a couple of things in that time frame that you guys can work towards, because this business can give you anything that you desire, anything. And when people start this business, they think because they want to help people, and then they start helping people and they start getting a bit of a paycheck. And then a couple of things happen. They're like, oh, well, I kind of didn't know this was a business. What's possible? What can I do? And then that's where we come into play and say, okay, well, let's give you a little bit of an idea of what you could do. And then all of a sudden those wheels start turning. It's like, oh my goodness. And if you're following any of my posts, like I'm just so big on that, is I want you to dream like a kid again. Like I want you to think, like you didn't have to worry about a job or anything, like what would be on that vision board of something that you want to have in your life, not worrying about how it's going to happen, not worrying about how much it's going to cost or anything like that. What would that be for you and your husband? Because this business has the ability to do that for you. It has the ability to do that for so many families when they would not have been otherwise able to do that. And if you're comfortable, and this is the hard part, if you're comfortable right now, you might not be comfortable tomorrow. Because that's how fast something can change and circumstances can change. So why not allow this business to be that, that cushion or that what if, and prepare yourself in case something was to happen. So exactly, savings account, right? But whatever those things are that you're going to go back to Jackie and Shonda and say, and like you actually, they'll come to me and tell me, and I'll be like, yeah, not big enough or not sparkly enough, because so many people downplay what their dreams or capabilities are with this business. So all I want you to do is I just want you to dream, and I want it to be so big, like I want goosebumps when I hear it, because then we can break it down and say, okay, in order for you to do that, this is what you got to do. In order for you to do that, you just kind of got to put this much time in. You're already a VF, and you're already qualified in your first month of being, which you have no idea what that means, but it's truly awesome and amazing. And so if you just keep doing what you're doing, you are going to surprise yourself on what is going to be returned back to you yourself and with your bank account. So part of your story is same thing with your health story, is that a bit unknown, not knowing what Juice Plus could do for you, and then look what it did for you. So the same thing with the business now. You have to go and, you're trying out the business, you're seeing and already, like I said, you're doing phenomenal. And so now it's like, okay, what can really happen with this business in my life? So we're going to do the same thing with your business. So for now, we are going to just hone down on that business or product story. But very quickly, you're going to have to put in a bit of a business story into that product story, because people are going to wonder what you're doing. People are going to wonder why you're all of a sudden being able to go on a trip. People are going to be able to wonder why you have a little bit more flexibility in the things that you do in your life. And it's because it's a direct reflection of the number of people that you are helping. Okay? Does that sound like a plan that you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you writing notes?
Yes.
You already have a couple of ideas of things that you might be putting on there?
On my dream list?
Yeah.
Definitely, I think I want to buy a house.
Awesome.
Yeah, I never ever thought I would ever want to buy a house, but yeah, I want to buy a house.
There you go. So when you have in business, this business is a 3 to 5 year business, and it's a 3 to 5 year business for anybody that follows the system, that's super coachable, which from Jackie and Tony, this is super coachable. And if you follow the systems, that this can give you a full-time income in part-time hours in 3 to 5 years. So do you think you have 3 to 5 years to kind of put into this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Totally awesome. So definitely have a chat with your husband, and maybe, you know, when I do this on my own, and then I have my own things, but when I talk to my husband about it, he comes up with very different things that truly benefit the family that I wouldn't have thought about. And if you're on the call tonight, I'm going to do a bit of a training about, you know, doing this business with your family and kids and spouse, and not that they have to do the business, but how to include them so you don't have that guilt, or how, so that they know why, you know, you're getting on a 30-minute call right now in the middle of on Sunday afternoon, or you know, when you start to go to events because you need to plug into the mothership for your business, because you just know what that 3 to 5 year goal is, right? So we're going to talk about that on the call tonight. So definitely speak to your husband so you guys can, you know, like if you go out and say, you know, in 3 to 5 years, I want to be able to buy a house, and he'll be like, what? You know, he'll be like, how are we going to do that?
Yeah.
But I want him to be on the same page as you and to support you in what you guys' goals are going to be. Okay? Cool. Okay. So if I asked you to tell me, do your story, knowing what we had talked about, how, where you were, and then it was shared with you by a friend, and now what your life looks like now. And it can be super rough, and it can be just like whatever, trying to spit stuff out. But share your story with me.
Now I'm happy. I have a bright outlook. I seem to care about stuff a little more, and I'm not fighting with myself all the time.
Okay, start from the beginning. Tell me where you were at.
Well, I was always depressed. I would have bouts of depression, and then I would be okay for a while. But just before I crashed, I was on a manic high. So I was like sitting on top of the world. And then overnight, I was down. Like, don't want to live anymore, down.
And then what happened, Lily?
Well, I had to go to the doctor to get help, obviously. But the biggest thing that they kept telling me was, you have to get healthy. They kept telling me, you need to drink more water, you have to get healthy, you need to exercise, watch what you're eating, more fruits and vegetables. And I'm thinking, like, fuck off. Sorry for my language. I drink water, I eat healthy, but I wasn't at all.
Okay. And then what happened?
Well, Shonda came with these magic little pills that are all your fruits and veggies. And then supposedly after taking them for a while, you'll just start to crave water, and it's everything that the doctors are telling me that I need to do. So it's like, it's easy to do. I'm take a pill, and this is everything the doctors tell me to do, and it's all natural. So what's it gonna hurt, right? My grandma suffers from bipolar, and she's been on lithium my whole life. And seeing the effects of her now as a senior, and like the shock therapy that she had to do as a teenager, man, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that at all. And I don't know if I could have done it without the Juice Plus. I don't know if I could have come off of those drugs and still been okay. It's been just about, well, I've been off of the lithium since November. So a few months anyhow, and I haven't had a crash. I haven't had a high. I've been balanced.
Okay. Side note, do you take a regular dose of Juice Plus?
Pardon me?
You just take a regular dose of Juice Plus?
Yeah, unless I don't feel very well. Like,
Take
just,
them.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna back the bus up. Okay, so how long have you been battling with this for?
My whole life. I didn't know that it was bipolar until April. I was diagnosed in April. I just thought that it was just regular depression.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to start off your story saying, whatever you felt like prior to being diagnosed, I've struggled with depression in some way, shape, or form for my entire life. Bipolar is in my family, and it wasn't until last April that I was officially diagnosed. And you can say, and it got to a point where you can talk about that high and talk about that low, and then you say that, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come out of it. Okay, so you paint a picture that you've struggled with this for a while. It's in your family. You're aware of what's in your family, and you can even say, if it's in my family, and I know what that family member my family's gone through, and that was not okay for me. That I did not want to have to go through seeing what my family member has gone through. I was diagnosed. You can talk about that high-low, and say, when I went to the doctor, and to me, when I hear that story, I think, wow, it's so great that your doctors are telling you that course of action. Like, I'm like, so that's awesome. So you need to say, like, my doctor said that I just need to basically get healthy with water, with food, with exercise, right? And you could say, I was not in a place to be able to do it on my own. And so then you say, thankfully that a good friend of mine, shared that part of this could be taken care of by taking plant powders in fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And that's where, and you can say, and that's where my turning point was. So then you can say, I've been on, I guess you've been on a whole cycle now, 4 months, haven't you?
Yeah.
So now after 4 months?
Well, I've been on Juice Plus since April. I've been taking it, and I've been off the lithium completely.
Okay, so my friend shared this with me, and you have to say, like, I knew that I had nothing to lose because I couldn't do this on my own. I started taking it, and you can say, like, gradually, like, I started to notice or feel this and this. And I'm so incredibly proud to say that in November, or however many months after, maybe 7 months-ish, 7 months later, I was able to come off of whatever, right? So you can show a little bit of progression, that it wasn't overnight, that, your health has been changing gradually, because we always want to make sure when we're sharing our stories that we're not saying that, it fixed or cured anything, right? So over time, it has allowed me to do this. And I now, whatever, I am able to, it's changed the way I think, and I eat. So I'm drinking more water, or maybe you're moving more, or whatever, those other things. But, and the best thing I think you need to put in there towards the end is that what you had said earlier about the beginning of the day, just how you're more balanced, right? And how much that means to you to be like this and not like that. And what those, and when you see what it means to, like, that feeling, to have that now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, start from the beginning.
Oh God, I'm not ready to.
Okay, it's okay. We're gonna work through this a couple of times, and then you're going to work it out, kind of continue to go through it, and then you're gonna start shooting you're gonna probably have to do Voxer messages to those guys. You're probably gonna have to do it like 5 to 10 times before you feel like it's comfortable. So it's okay. Start from the beginning.
Okay, so I've always suffered from depression, and bipolar runs in my family. In April, I was diagnosed with bipolar. I went on a really high manic spree, and then I crashed really hard, where that's where I was diagnosed. Was I ended up going to the doctor because I crashed so bad, and they diagnosed me
Diagnosed you with what?
bipolar disorder.
Okay. And were you at the rock bottom?
Yes. It's hard to tell it. Like I don't. I feel all over the page.
Okay, so I want to ask you something. When you have to tell somebody that you're bipolar, what does it make you feel?
I don't know.
Do you think people think differently of you?
Yeah,
Do you think they think like that there's something wrong with you?
sometimes. I think that some people are like, oh yeah, that explains it. Yeah.
Jody, you know that everybody has something, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has something. And you cannot take, and nobody can take away from you what it means to be bipolar, or what it means to have cancer, or what it means to have life-threatening injuries or allergies or whatever illnesses, or nobody can take away and say that it's not valid, or it's not, serious enough, or they're all the same. So it doesn't matter if it's mental, physical, it doesn't matter. Everybody has something. Okay? You are no different. Your story is powerful in the courage that you have to share it, in case just one, which there will be more than that, just one person connects with your story and says, because of you, I'm going to now change my life. And you're going to have that power. You're going to have that ability with your story and what you're doing. So knowing that, do you feel like that gives you enough courage to share your story, knowing you could change just one life?
Yes.
Yeah. You have that ability, Jody. And I can promise you that if somebody says, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. Oh, well, so it makes sense to them. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter about their opinion. So if it gives them some understanding in their mind, okay, great. But your life has changed. You now can function day to day. Don't let anybody take that away from you. Okay? Okay, start from the beginning.
Okay. So in April, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder after I went through a manic spell and I crashed really bad. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it out of it. It was really bad. So I started going to my doctor, and he told me the first step was to get healthy. I needed to eat more fruits and vegetables, exercise, drink more water. Those were the top things that he said. And then my counselor, even when I started speaking with her, she even said, and showed me her bottle of water, that I should be drinking 2 of those a day. And I said, yeah, right. I drink coffee, and that has water in it. So bipolar runs in my family, and my grandma has it, and I watched her struggle with it, and there's no way I was doing that to my family or to myself. I wasn't gonna be on psychotics forever, so I don't know what that meant for me. I started to really think about what the doctors were saying and realized I'm not that healthy in all reality. The water that I get from coffee is not adequate water to be drinking. And then my cucumbers and vegetables that I eat every day isn't the right amount of servings of fruits and vegetables. So I know that I'm not getting enough nutrition from that. I had a friend who was told me about these plant powders in a capsule, and you got 30 different fruits and vegetables in this capsule. So I started looking into it, and it seemed legit. It's all fruits and vegetables that I don't buy at the grocery store or really have the money to buy if they're in stock at the grocery store. It's what my doctors keep telling me to get. Um, and I remember actually one of my last appointments, I just ordered the omegas from Shonda. Sorry, I'm cutting ahead a little bit. I did order the Juice Plus. I tried these plant powders and omegas because they're good for your brain. And what I read about them was good for mental health. So I'm giving it a try too. Might as well. And then I left my doctor's one day and she said, "You need to get yourself some omegas. Go to the grocery store and buy this generic brand of vitamin omegas." And I never take anything. I don't even take Tylenol. So to go and get these crap vitamins I know that aren't good for you isn't going to happen. So this was a complete savior to get the plant powders and these all natural omegas. So I started taking them, and well, honestly, within the first week, I noticed I had more energy. I was not foggy in my brain anymore. I know it was a mixture of my psychotics were helping me become stable, but I'm very in tune with my body, and um, I know that they were helping me. It wasn't just the psychotics. The psychotics were like bringing me back to reality, and the Juice Plus was giving me the energy and the clear um, mind. And I was craving more water. And when I did eat any fruits and vegetables at home, the taste was way fresher, which was really weird to see. Um, so that was within the first week, and it only got better. Um, I didn't really notice anything more other than the increased energy, and people kept saying, "Oh, you're looking so good. You're looking so good." But I just thought, I'm not working anymore. I'm stable. That's just what it is. Then come April, May, June, July, August. 7 months later, 8 months later, in November anyhow, I was able to completely come off of lithium, the psychotic that I was finally prescribed after a handful. My hair even started falling out on some of the psychotics that they were giving me. It was insane. It was rough. But in November, I was able to come off of it. I told my doctor that I wasn't taking it forever. I felt mentally stable enough that I wanted to come off of it. And then talking with my counselors and the psychiatrist, as well as my doctor, we weaned myself off. Within a week, I was no longer taking it, and I feel great. I haven't had an up or a down. There's things that have happened in this time that would have sent me into a complete either depression, or I would have went completely manic, and that could lead to over shopping, spending all your money that's in your bank account. You could excessively, you could go out and party, do drugs. You develop a whole different attitude and mindset that is not you at all. And I haven't had anything. I'm balanced. I feel completely at peace with myself, for once ever. I'm not battling with my brain every day.
Jody, that's amazing. That's amazing. So that was like your first run through of your story after we just gave you a few tips. Like, how did that feel?
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
So funny thing is, so I've got all my fingers crossed because I got like little things I want to say. But funny thing is, you started your story and like those few things that I said to you, like implemented right away into the beginning of the story. It got a little bit wishy in the middle, but as soon as you started talking about what happened in November and how your life changed, it was just like you were gone. Like you were so confident in what you were saying and how things have changed. So Jackie, some note points for you because you guys are going to kind of work on this together. So Jackie, first of all, can you write down when she said that whole part about her grandma and that she didn't want it, that was not going to be her, and she didn't want, that was not going to be what her, okay, she needs to make sure she says that every time. You need to make sure that joke about the water in your coffee was not adequate water after the doctors had told you. That needs to go into your story because that's awesome. When you're at the doctor said you need to water, exercise, fruits and vegetables, eat better. Okay, so just list them off because you don't want to spend a ton of time talking about the doctor. So I'm trying to go through. When you were talking about that low, I think at that time, I think that's when you can explain to people like what that is. Like when you did that high and low, like just say like, maybe say that till the end. Hang on. Oh, that was good. So just say, Jackie, you know this middle part that I'm talking about, to just shrink it down a bit. So like she went to the doctor, he told him this and this and this. She started capsules, and I obviously had to. And you don't worry about saying that you took the omegas at a different time than started them differently than the capsules. You can just say, I started them. I knew I had to take omegas because of the brain health and the connection to the brain. So that was awesome. So keep that in there. And then you can go in and say, so when I met with my doctor in April, I was diagnosed, I started Juice Plus 7 months later, and that quick, you can say, in April, and say, in my first week, I started to notice this, and this. And then rather than saying, I didn't notice anything else, say, over time, up to 7 months later, I was able to get off my meds. So we're just going to shrink that little portion up a bit, and then everything that you said from the November that you got off your meds and how you're more balanced and you haven't had any highs or lows or anything the way you explained it. I don't explain it at all like you. Those highs and lows that you have not had any since November, awesome. And when you say you don't battle with your brain when you were explaining that part, because that's powerful for somebody who doesn't know what that means. To me, that just gave a perfect image of what you go through. And then I would just make sure to just have, when you said that about you don't have that battle with yourself anymore, and just when you put that smile on your face, I wanted you to just say one more sentence about like almost how proud of yourself that you are, or how you see your future, because I feel like you see it now and you feel it now.
Yeah.
So I just want one sentence at the end that, like, as a closing sentence, Jackie, that expresses that look on her face right now. Okay. So I don't know what that is, because that's your thing. But if you could tell somebody in like a sentence to close your story, to say what that means to you, or how excited you are for your future, like for your health, or something along those lines. Okay.
Okay.
Jackie, you're all good with those?
Yep, I wrote them all down. And I'm also recording it so we can go back.
Okay. Yeah. Jody, it is so great. You should feel so proud of yourself. So proud of yourself for sharing your story, for like everything that we've talked about. Anything that I told you, you have gone and just added into your story or tweaked your story to make it flow, which is so great, like totally teachable. And that I hope that you believe that whether somebody's dealing with mental health or anything like that, dealing with something, I hope that your story will connect with them. Knowing that if you went through something and you through something, they can too. Are you going to be on the call tonight?
Yes.
Okay, good. So your action is that you are going to practice your story 3 more times and shoot all 3 of them in a Voxer to Jackie and Shonda. You can just do them like over and over and over again. You don't even need to wait for any feedback from her. Just do your story 3 times after we get off this, okay? Then Jackie will give you a little bit of feedback, okay? And then tonight you're also going to talk with your husband, and so tomorrow you got to give them what your kind of goals and dreams are. Like I said, be as big and audacious as you can be, okay?
Okay.
Then Jackie will come back to me and kind of help her with a little bit of a game plan, because since you hit BF, girl, you got to qualify your month in March, which Jackie will help you do, but you have so much momentum right now, you have got to keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay? Awesome. I cannot wait to hear the next version of your story.
Sweet.
Yeah. Take a deep breath now. You're done. And I will tell you, it will get easier to tell your story, but your story it won't necessarily get easier. Your story will always change. It'll just get easier talking to people about yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.